Are you addicted to Pinterest yet? Megan McChesney pins for herself and for Canadian Family Magazine. She's here to tell us more now on what Time Magazine has named one of the best internet sites of last year. And this is a fairly new phenomenon. And it's funny because in the past few weeks that I've been on it, and I'll admit I'm addicted to it, it's mainly been women, but now in the past couple of weeks I've noticed more men I know following me on Pinterest. And I find that kind of odd.
Well, it's interesting because I think the fact that women are sort of leading the charge in North America is very unique to North America. In fact, that there's been some info that's come out of Great Britain where Pinterest is more popular amongst men. So for whatever reason, it's just evolved in North America as being a more women-centric thing, but I think we'll see that shift and change as we're exposed to more and more ways to use it.
And if you don't know what it is, I kind of liken it to it. I had a bulletin board in my room when I was a teenager, and I would put up like the latest makeup stuff, you know, my favorite musicians and everything, and I would constantly change what was on this bulletin board. And it's kind of like just a bulletin board online where you're liking things that you want to put up on your board and you're sharing it with friends.
Yeah, absolutely. They call themselves a virtual pin board, and that's essentially what it is. I like to think of it as a virtual space to sort of organize and store all of the things that you find beautiful and inspiring and exciting online, and a way to do that very visually. Unlike, you know, storing things in a bookmark bar and a toolbar, which is hidden somewhere in your browser, this is very beautiful, easy to use, and very, very visual, which I think is really nice for people.
You see an awful lot of stylists using it.
Yeah, stylists. I mean, people use it for all kinds of reasons. People use it to plan weddings. People use it to decorate their homes. People use it for recipe and cooking inspiration. Some people, I know a lot of people who use it, you know, designers who are looking for different kind of fonts or beautiful inspiration. Artists, architects. I mean, there are so many different ways that you can use it. You can really make the experience your own, which is why I think it's resonating with so many people.
Right, and it is addictive. And I was telling you during the break, I will not let myself use it at work. You have to use it at work, though, for Canadian Family.
I have to. Yes, no, and we do. At Canadian Family, we have a Pinterest board, well, a series of boards actually, and it's actually been very successful for us just as a way to share our content in a new kind of way with our readers, and a way to sort of give everybody a sense of what we're all about, because I think what makes Pinterest successful for people is when you're pulling in inspiration and sharing things from all over the web, not just from one sort of funnel. I think that's what makes the experience richer.
Right, and you say that some companies walk a fine line with that, because, and I have seen examples on Pinterest where it's a company just marketing its own products, its own ideas, and yet you want it to be ideas from everywhere.
Absolutely. I mean, just like Facebook, just like Twitter, you know, we're still in the early stages of Pinterest in terms of how companies are going to be using it. And I think everybody's just trying to figure out the best way to use it. For me, I think the best way to use it from a company perspective is to provide a lot of variety and make sure it's a really great user experience and not just a marketing tool.
And this is kind of different because this is a website where you can't just log on and start pinning right away. You have to log on and ask to be accepted.
Right, and that may very well be just because it's still early days, but I think for them it was a way to sort of prevent an onslaught of people from coming and they couldn't handle the load. I think that's why they may have done it that way. That may change in time, but that's currently how it's set up. You get an invitation and then you're accepted eventually, but it doesn't take too long.
So Pinterest.com is the website. Megan, thanks so much for coming in with your insight here, and I'll be following your pins. We're going to be following the latest news coming up at 8 o'clock. Stay with us.